to a merrier Christmas. Pre-approved credit today for VAT days December 18th and December 19th at Hosford's. Visit stores for all details.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali. And it is Friday. The week is over. Well, a few hours until it's over. And that means we get to let down for a weekend. Until we have to do it all over again. Ay. It's like the most disappointingly excited thing you could ever experience is a weekend. But it's a weekend nonetheless. And we have to start off every weekend with, Friday with Cross Caribbean Link Up. So we are patching through to them, and then we will jump on that call. So we're taking a break and jumping into... we're right into it. Good morning.
Good morning. Hold a line.
Sure.
Well, guys, there's a lot going on in Antigua right now.
A lot. There's a lot happening in Antigua, so we'll chat with our friends and get some updates. Our cousins from across.
You guys been following at all?
Yeah. To some extent. Not like...
Not in depth.
Not in depth, but surface.
I don't study anybody else except say kids.
Oh, that's probably wise.
I don't really study needles.
The divisions can call.
Oh, boy. No, I just mind my business, that's all. I just mind my business. Be respectful.
Your business is Nevis business.
No. Nevis is own country.
All right, we're back.
And the crew. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, hi, good morning. Okay, until I get used to all the voices, who am I speaking with this morning?
The same people.
This is Kevon.
Hi, Kevon, good morning.
Good morning.
And this is
Good morning,
Azam.
how are you doing? Right. Just to let you know that we have the leader of the opposition in studio with us this morning. He's just going to spend a few moments of his time with us. He was in the first hour. He was our guest in the first hour, and he agreed graciously to stay with us so that you fine people can meet him, Kevon and crew. Good morning.
Imagine that. Feel special.
Yes.
And now I feel like I have some sort
All
of
right,
power.
so give him a shout out, Mr. Pringle.
Good morning all.
Good morning,
Good morning,
sir.
good morning. How are you doing?
It's a pleasure to be on Win FM
Welcome.
and to be interviewed by such a esteemed person.
Yeah, this man.
But I wonder who tell him that.
Right. I hope you know that let's call us four. These four people in this room are the worst people that can interview
So
you.
we are all vagabonds. We're not this team whatsoever.
So, what question would you like to put to our leader of the opposition, Kevon, or Amali, or Jade, or Azim?
Well, sir, we've been somewhat following the events in Antigua over the past few months, actually, as it relates to, COVID-19 and LIAT and of course, the new developments with the allegations against the Minister of Education and who else?
Well, there seems to be some persons upset with the comments made by the Gender Affairs Minister.
Right, indeed.
Yeah, well informed then, so I want to ask. Anyway, I'll leave you to the leader of the opposition. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, we could start with COVID-19, I guess. And
yeah, sure.
because last week Friday we discussed with Observer Radio the protocols in place as it relates to the incoming traffic, air traffic and so in Antigua. So how do you feel about the protocols that have been established by the ruling party?
And full disclosure, some of the protocols, since we were here last week, like we here in St. Kitts looking at it and thinking it's kind of crazy, yeah? But we're very interested to hear what's your view on the protocols as they stand now.
All right. I'm one that advocates for safety, and I strongly believe some of the protocols are necessary. But what I'm not agreeing with, for example, the wearing of masks, the social distancing, these are some of the things that would keep the people of this country and the world safe. And yes, I believe in those, but what I have a problem with is the fact that we're still under a state of emergency when we're doing everything else as normal. I think it's time for us to really move that state of emergency and have people, in some way, get back to their lives rather than just being confined within certain hours. I think it's a breach of their constitutional right, and I'm still not in support of it. The government believes that it is necessary. I can understand if they say okay, we're going to leave the state of emergency in place, but we're going to remove the curfew. Why are we under curfew?
Or the curfew specifically.
When you still allow us to do as we please during the day.
So it's specifically the curfew that you think you have you're opposing.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we have to be fair. And in anything that I do, I try to be fair. The government may need a state of emergency, being that we're dealing with a virus. And in the event that something happens, they can act quickly.
Right.
The state of emergency may be necessary. But you're telling me that between the hours of 11 and 5 in the morning, I should be confined to my home because COVID is out there. The government is just using this mechanism, in my view, to curtail crime in Antigua and Barbuda. And I think the police force is quite competent of handling those crimes.
Okay. Well,
Right.
we had the same, similar, measures put in place for quite a few months actually here in
Yeah,
St.
definitely.
Nevis.
Yeah.
In some instances, we only had I think it was 2 hours to go outside in the first instance. And what the argument is in St. Kitts, from our government at that time, and our health officials as well, Dr. Laws and Dr. Wilkinson, is that the less time that people spend in public, you reduce the risk of exposure to the virus if it's out there. So are you saying that you disagree with that logic?
No, but then you're doing between the hours of 6 or from 5 to 10:59, when most persons would have been home sleeping by that time. Why do we still need a curfew? If you understand what I'm saying. The time when most persons are on the street,
Which
is
is during
within
the
the
day.
daytime.
During the daytime, yeah.
and leading up to the evening.
Yeah.
There are no parties. We're not allowed to have parties. Bars close at a certain time. So why do we need a curfew between that time? If you understand what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't have parties either, but I'm not saying that I, that I disagree that it may be a bit extreme, but at the end of the day, we in the Caribbean we like to lie. Even if no party is happening, because during curfew when we didn't have any parties, people were still on the road all the time at all the bars,
Never stopped.
back and what we see happening, very often here as well, is that even though the government has put limitations on events, there are still many illegal events happening in backyards and up in the mountain and in people's basement and things like that.
Yeah, we have a speakeasy culture here now.
Yeah, we have a party black culture, and I believe that is one of the reasons why they had put that in place, because even if you say, okay, look, no events across the board, everybody go home and relax, without the curfew, these things will still be happening, and they were happening.
Yeah, we've seen it happening here. Yeah.
During
Has
lockdown,
have the police
huh?
have the police arrested anyone or charged anyone for breaking the curfew
a
or
lot of
breaching
people.
protocol?
Yeah, so during the lockdown
okay.
curfew period, like in the early stages of it, the government, the police officials, they racked up almost $1 million in fines.
In fines.
What?
Yeah. So unfortunately, we have a culture of, it's just human nature. When you're told you can't do something, you are more compelled to do
You're
it.
going to want to do it.
So
Of course.
You're going to push the limit.
Yeah,
Let's try and see, which is probably why we have a lot of people who get into accidents. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but we've had a few accidents late at night because people are rushing either rushing to beat the curfew, or they know they're beyond the curfew and they don't want to get in trouble, and so they get into accidents.
That happened here as well.
One or two cases.
So maybe
It happens there too, huh?
you know, so maybe if Gaston wants to, invest a few funds in Laird, he can actually lift the curfew and then allow people to have illegal parties and then find them.
I think persons are taking the pandemic a lot more serious than we think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think anybody is risking their lives for the sake of parties. That it wouldn't happen, because we have seen instances here where that is happening. But truth be told, some of these parties are coming from the upper echelons in society.
Right.
You understand? So
watch a thing.
While we are confined, there's some persons can do
what they want.
And I can remember even one instance where it was a minister who was hosting a party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what are we saying?
Right.
Fascinating.
It's mixed signals that we're sent that's been sent out by the government.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and things change according to who and how, and what they want to do.
Yeah, and
so we're saying that
Go ahead.
We have to be real with what we're doing. It's either or. What is good for me must be good for you.
Definitely.
Yep. All right, gentlemen. Jade, you're very quiet. Are you all right?
Jade actually stepped out of the studio for a second.
She's multitasking.
Oh, she stepped out.
Yeah.
All right. She wasn't in the mood to deal with the rest, the lot of you, the three of you, this morning.
She couldn't deal with it. She couldn't cope with us today.
I hope you all treat her nicely, over there,
Always.
We don't.
I
don't give her too much trouble.
I'm pretty much the only one.
Any other questions?
Yes. Yeah, any other questions for the opposition? Because I have one more for him before he goes.
Yes. So, there's a situation happening, and we've learned that the opposition is calling for the gender affairs minister to be fired. Can we chat a bit about that?
Sure.
So what exactly happened, and what's the position of the opposition?
Well, basically, when you control a critical ministry, such as social transformation that deals with, and which just launched their gender-based, the 16 days of activism, for gender-based violence, and you have a minister now who came out and in his press release said that he misspoke in regards to the challenges that they're having is because 13-year-olds are consenting to sex.
Right.
You and I both know once you're under the age of consent, you can't give any consent.
Right.
And for this to be coming from a minister, it more or less seems like there's a lawless minister. It's a lawless minister. Or the ministry is lawless. Because where we expect to be guided accordingly,
yes,
that's where we're getting the sort of response.
Right.
That is not in keeping with our laws.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's it. Well, go ahead.
No, I was saying I think that it's unfortunate that the statement made would have somehow suggested that to be the case. We had a conversation here yesterday, ironically, about the level of responsibility from all parties involved. The issue of consent is a legal one, and of course, like you said, the laws, I think in Antigua it's 16. The age of consent is 16. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's a legal issue. But I think that it's important also, while not absolving perpetrators of responsibility, to continue to encourage people of all sexes, of all genders, sexes, ages, to recognize the fact that we live in a world where they're very bad people, and to constantly be on guard and be on watch, and to recognize that you have to take some responsibility in where you go, what you do, what you encourage. And so I feel that it has to be said at some point, because like we live in a world with dark, demented people.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But before the honourable leader of the opposition leaves, I do want to ask him a question pertaining to an investment summit that was hosted by the Economic Recovery Committee yesterday. And this is a question that was posed by a listener, Honourable Pringle. Darren, please ask Mr. Pringle if he had sufficient knowledge of the project to give his backing to them. He was not a listed speaker at the rollout yesterday. Why did he allow himself to be humiliated and deceived by Davin Joseph? How does he see the project enriching the lives of his lowly constituents, especially at this time where there is no money? And Mr. Pringle knows I was going to ask him this question, so he's ready to fire. I didn't put him on the spot there on that one.
Okay.
Darren, we have to move away from some of the things and some of the mindset that we normally travel with.
And I'll just quickly add that there has also been criticism elsewhere in other quarters, shall we say, about, you providing some measure of support just by your presence and by the comments that you made yesterday. So rope that all in.
Darren, initially, I didn't participate in the Economic Review Committee because of the various reasons that I mentioned in regards to the disrespect by the Prime Minister. However, I was invited to, I was formally invited as leader of the opposition through writing to the launch of the project. And to give basically what it is to bring it to the public. And in my capacity as leader of the opposition, I decided to go. Because I from having discussions with Mr. Ryan, who spoke to me at length in regards to some of the plans, and he also presented to the organization, the United Progressive Party, on what it is they're looking at. It was also outlined the stakeholders, Darren. And when you look at the fact that they're private entities and they're government professionals, technicians who are working tirelessly to put forward something that we all would agree that is necessary at this point, where people with COVID and the fact that we're not seeing much foreign direct investment, we have been calling on our locals to get involved and for the private sector to carry the weight. We cannot continue to every time there's a change of government, or to every time somebody wants a job, we push them into the government sector. Ways of creating other means of employment must be looked at, and investment must happen. It's not about whether and the world know I don't support the Honorable Gaston Brown and his administration. It has nothing to do with me supporting it. Who I supported then, when I was at that function, was those hard-working Antiguans and those private sector people who are working to ensure that the viability of our economy is maintained. That is why I was there. And in that, also get the knowledge of the project, so that when I'm asked questions by constituents, I can give them the necessary information. Darren, when you look at UPP started the expansion of St. John's, hence the reason we have the Friday Road, which is one of the busiest roads for commercial activities. We are not against an investment, and I'm sure you would have heard the political leader said, we are not against the project. But if the government is the driving force behind of it, we will not support it, because we have seen the incompetence of the government and their failure to see projects come to light. So if there's a project that is going to benefit Antiguans, and there are local Antiguans who put effort into creating a document, a plan of creating a new city according to what they propose, it's for us as a people, and it's for us to look at it, critique it, and work tirelessly to make sure that it's for the benefit of the people of Antigua and Barbuda and not just overseas persons come and invest. So now that we see a proposal, because that's what it is, because it's not completed, that's what they're proposing. We're saying the government needs to step back, facilitate the private sector and the technicians who worked at that development, and for us to have serious consultation throughout Antigua and Barbuda, and more so, consultation with the people up in St. Philip South, who is going to be greatly impacted by that project. Mm-hmm. So it's not that it's a yes, we are on board, and yes, we are going to. We are the government in waiting. And if it is that we take office tomorrow, what are you saying to me? That project should be off the table? This is hard work by people who are willing, Antiguans and Barbudans who are willing. And I pledge my support to the Antiguans and Barbudans. It has nothing to do with ALP, because whether or not ALP...
Don't forget the B. Don't forget Barbuda. I'm just saying. But I know what you mean.
You know,
all right.
we cannot continue. And Darren, I'm not going to be one of those politicians who, because I'm in opposition, I'm going to oppose everything. I've said it time and time again. If I see something that can benefit Antiguans and Barbudans, I'm going to support it. What we need to do, as Antiguans and Barbudans now, seeing that plan, is to scrutinize and to allow and put our comments where it's necessary. Where it's necessary so that they can move on, we can move on and get the people of Antigua and Barbuda and give them a stake in that development.
All right. Gentlemen, any follow-up to that? Well, can I ask you, gentlemen, a question? You all love to ask about Antigua. I want to ask about St. Kitts.
Sure.
Right? There's my grandfather, neighbor Stringberry in Gingerland in Nevis that I visited the other day. Anyway, listen, curfew. What is the curfew in St. Kitts? Is it the same as ours, or you have a different curfew?
No, we have no curfew.
We have no curfew. It's been lifted.
Oh, you don't have a curfew at all?
Yeah, it's been lifted.
Yeah.
Okay. So your opening up was fully opened up.
Yeah, but we were lifted prior to that too.
We've been lifted since what, August?
About August or so, but what happened was we went a few, what was it, like a month at that time without any new reported cases. Mm-hmm. And the borders were closed. We have some of the strictest protocols in terms of coming into the country. Things like negative PCR tests only being valid for 3 days after you took the test. Mandatory 14-day quarantine. And even if you quarantine at home, it has to be pre-approved by the task force, as well as there must be 24-hour private security guarding the residents. So I think these are some of the things that we put in place to try and to mitigate the risk and still allow some sense of normalcy to come back to the population.
Okay. And generally speaking, what's happening in St. Kitts? I mean, I haven't heard from Dr. Denzel Douglas. He's still leader of the opposition, correct?
Yes, he is.
I haven't heard from him in a little while. He's been quiet, or is it just that I've perhaps not been paying that much attention?
No, he's been quiet.
He's been quiet.
Okay.
But I think
is
that
a good thing or a bad thing?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, you can't be too sure.
Well, I think what's happening right now actually is the Labour Party is in the process of rebuilding and recuperating and restructuring, etc. So that's what's happening.
Has there been any pressure on him?
Sorry?
Has there been pressure on him to resign? On that note, has there been pressure on him to resign?
From who? From the public or from his party?
Both.
I think there was pressure on him to resign since 2015.
Well, probably before that.
There was pressure on him to resign when there was a motion of no confidence 10 years ago.
Yeah.
but I think now the party has realized that it's time to transition into new leadership, and I suspect that's what is happening as we speak. So pretty soon, I'm sure we'll be hearing some big news from the Labour Party, as it relates to leadership and candidates moving forward for the next election in 2025.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was just asking the leader of the opposition if we've imposed too much on him this morning.
But if there are questions,
all right. I don't know if you had a final question for him before he takes his leave. He has constituency matters to address.
I'm sure he's a very busy man. But just curious as to you guys in Antigua, and specifically the leader of the opposition. Do you feel bad about the fact that you're not Kittishan?
Oh, do you want to put the man in? Anyway, let me watch.
No. How could we?
How could you?
But I must say,
And you know what?
but I must say, I applaud the effort by your government, and I hope that we learn from some of what St. Kitts have been doing in terms of managing the economy to the point that they can do certain things when it's so needed. It's commendable that such is the case.
Yes.
I remembered when the pandemic started, and you gave the government gave a stimulus. It was said because it's election, and then right after election, we saw that they gave out another package again.
Yeah.
And it's sad that when you look at our situation, it's not that the monies weren't there. It's the fact that the government malspending is what caused us not to be able to give the people of Antigua and Barbuda a stimulus. So, and the people are still calling for it. When you look at where we are at this point, we are at least 40% of our hotel sector is still out. It might very well be more.
Right.
Out of work. These are the reasons why I have to now look at different ways in which we're going to move this economy. Because we realize that since COVID, we cannot rely so heavily on tourism.
Right.
We have to now spread it across different sectors.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's something for us to really look at. And while we play the politics, we have to be real. The situations that are faced by people out there, it's really, really, really critical and crucial to how they're living. And persons whom you, over the years, I remember one gentleman where he, when I was growing up and going to school, if I don't have a lunch, he would buy me lunch. And at this point, he's going through such a critical stage, even because the government cannot pay him his pension on time.
Right.
These are situations, and these are the reasons why I have to now look at things from a different perspective. We cannot just look at the politics of the day, because people are suffering tremendously. And we're here, we have to find and look at things and look at how we, as the government in waiting, are going to ensure that the pensioners are paid on time, the people of Antigua and Barbuda can survive, and there are opportunities for those persons who are leaving school.
Right.
All right. Gentlemen, we're going to have to leave the chat there. We had a little extra time today, but the boss says it's time for us to go. We have to play some commercials, and then we have to get ready. We're having two young men in studio who are going to be rowing across the Atlantic. Two in a little raft. Yes.
Wow.
So they're going to be here. One is here already. I think the other one is en route, but they're going to be our next guest, and they're going to be telling us about, their preparations. They're going to be leaving on Sunday to head to La Gomera. And, so the Talisker Whiskey Atlantic Challenge, the world's toughest row.
Wow.
Quick question.
These are Barbuda is fielding a team.
So these are two Antiguans?
Two Antiguans, yes, sir.
Oh my gosh.
You know how we roll. Don't you wish that you were Antiguan? Have a nice day. Bye.
You know what? And with that, me and him have before. What?
Well played.
Wow.
Well played. Touche.
Wow.
We will take a very short break, and then we'll come back with more Island Tea on Win Media SK, and we'll be right back.
We're
different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
The management of Amali Bakery would like to thank our customers and the general public for your support over the past 71 years. Now, during these difficult financial times, it is our turn to show our appreciation and support to you, our dear customers. We have some good news. During the hours of 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. on Mondays to Saturdays and 5 p.m. to closing time on Mondays to Saturdays, all baked goods, including selected pastries, will be offered at buy one, get the second one free. This special offer will continue until December 31st, 2020. We take the opportunity to send the best wishes to everyone in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Paint it, tile it, improve it. Your walls, paint it. Your floors, tile it. Your home, improve it. With huge savings at the Hosford's Building Center. Paint it, tile it, improve it. Sales event happening now. Yes. Come to Hosford's Building Center now and get savings of 25% off all paint and up to 75% off all tiles. Yes. Nothing's are gonna keep at Hosford's with up to 75% off piles of tiles in all styles and 25% off all paint. Come now and get a chance to win $500 shopping spree at Value Mart with the purchase of 5 gallons of paint or more. That's right. Buy 5 gallons or more of paint and you get a chance to win $500 in free groceries. Starting now until December 31st, 2020. It's your home. So paint it, tile it, improve it. At Hosford's Building and Nevis Centers year-end Paint It, Tile It, Improve It sale. Come now. Save big and simply paint it, tile it, and improve it. The event starts now and ends December 31st, 2020. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And if I die before I wake,
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali. And again, it is Friday. Friday. So, let's jump into some tea time. Hee hee. So,
Hee hee joy bye. Oh, you say you ain't feeling 100 now?
hee hee.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
I
So,
wanna come again.
no problem.
I only feel who it to be.
So the Antiguan opposition, I'll read the full extent of the article so everyone can get an understanding as to what's happening. So the Antiguan opposition calls for the Gender Affairs Minister to be fired. So the United Progressive Party, the Leadership and Women's Forum are calling on Prime Minister Gaston Brown to fire his Gender Affairs Minister after he said teenage girls may have consented to sexual relations with much older men. Minister Dean Jonas made the statement yesterday during an interview on ABS television to start the observance of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. This is very unfortunate, UPP political leader Harold Lovell said in a statement. At a time like this, when the focus is getting the public, especially males, to realize that any type of violence against women and girls is wrong, the minister's comments are particularly jarring. He added, violation of a child is extremely serious and disgusting. It's a disgusting matter that demands condemnation and prosecution, not rationalization, and for a member of parliament to remove responsibility from the adult and place it on the child is simply inexcusable. UPP Senator and Secretary Sean Nichols called for Jonas to be fired. Under the laws of Antigua and Barbuda, 16 years is the age of consent, and the minister knows that. Therefore, there can be no explanation or excuse for his statements, Nicholas said. The senator noted that it was ironic that the minister made his statements on a day aimed at eliminating all forms of violence.
Yikes. Well, again.
And like the same thing we said yesterday, is a very sensitive issue.
Yeah, but you see, the problem I have is that it's almost like we believe that responsibility has to be on one party. Like if we see a situation, right, where underage girls are actively, right, are actively engaging in inappropriate discussions,
and sometimes seeking them,
right, seeking out and things like that. This does not in any way justify any man from engaging in any type of sexual act, even sexual conversation with any underage woman. It does not justify it. However, if that is the reality that it is happening,
then there's another issue that we need to deal with.
We need to deal with that issue as well. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
It still needs to be addressed.
And I want to believe
needs to be addressed.
And I want to believe that this was the sentiment of the minister as well.
Yeah, but I actually would have gone and seeked and sought.
And heard the comment?
Yeah, sought the comment.
And in your opinion, where do you feel, which angle do you feel he was coming from?
I feel he was coming from the angle of identifying the fact that yes, we do have this issue that we need to address. The fact that we have underage girls who feel that they are in a position to go out and seek this type of attention from men. The wording, of course, was horrible because he used the word consent. Right? And so legally, girls under the age of 16, boys under the age of 16 cannot give consent.
I understand that.
Right.
I understand
so that I think that is what they're using to
say that his comments were inappropriate.
Right.
But that is a debatable issue.
Yeah, but come on, Amali. You know what makes this even more concerning to me? The fact that what is being ignored is the fact that there are 11, 12, 13-year-olds who are having sex. Like, that is the bigger issue here. Like, whether it is two 13-year-olds, two 12-year-olds, so there's not an issue of rape that is happening here, right? Because it's two underage children engaging in sexual activity, right? And so if that is the reality that we're dealing with, how does one not assume that there's be situations where boys and girls who are under the age of consent will also seek the sexual relationships with people who are older than them. Like, it's a multifaceted issue. And it must be addressed with a multi-pronged approach.
It has to be. And the whole issue of whether it's legal or not is irrelevant in my opinion. Because the fact of the matter is they are children. Whether the age of consent is 16 or 14 or 11, they're children.
They're children.
Until you're 18. And 18 is the international standard for adulthood. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's irrelevant to me. It is irrelevant. Because whether consent is legal or illegal, it is consent.
Right.
At the end of the day. Right? Whether I have a weapon that is legally registered or illegal, it's still a weapon.
Yep.
If I'm driving a car illegally or legally, I'm still driving a car. So whether it is illegal or illegal for a 15-year-old to give consent or not, it is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is that we have our children seeking sex from big people.
Yep.
And that is a huge societal issue.
Huge.
So for them to just say, oh, she's 15, so she can't give consent, so you need to resign. You're arguing for the wrong things.
Right.
The question we need to be asking is, what is making our 15-year-old girls and boys seek sexual pleasure in exchange for, in some instances, things at these young ages?
But Damali, I think one of the issues, and this is something that I would have, because I would have taught high school, and so it's not lost on me that I would have been teaching children who would have been sexually active.
Exactly.
Right? But when I would have had deep conversations with them, one of the things that I recognize is missed in their education about sex is an understanding of the consequences of sex.
Oh boy.
The consequences and recognizing that you are not in a position, whether financially, so your economics, mentally, you're not in a position to deal with the consequences of these decisions. Right? And sometimes when I speak to young people about this situation and this issue, and you talk to them in from that angle and say, like, look, boss, you realize, like, this thing that you're doing could possibly, you could get an STD, child could come, right? You could get somebody arrested. Like, are you in a position to adequately deal with the consequences of your actions? No.
These things haven't even crossed their minds.
Yeah, but you see, at the same time, we as society, we glorify sex so much. How do you expect that children do not want to go out and seek it? We are the ones who present it as it's the best thing in the world. Like, we present it as this is the best thing in the world ever, and everybody needs to be doing this thing. From every angle, from birth, that is the narrative. And the funny thing is, when we get down and we talk to people in our immediate circle, these people ain't even enjoying sex. They just do it because it's something.
Yeah.
It's just what you're supposed. It's like what you're supposed to do.
That's a valid fact, you know. That is a valid.
But we present it as, we glorify it in a way that is, it creates a desire, even where
curiosity.
Yeah, a desire and curiosity in children, even before their biology signals to them that they should be desiring and craving this thing.
And then we discussed it on previous shows as well, the fact that you have parents actually encouraging this kind of behavior.
Oh,
or even not just that.
Oh my gosh.
Because the age of consent is 16 unless the parent consents. So if a woman takes a 14-year-old daughter and says, yeah,
you could get married,
one have sex with Azim for to help pay the bills and so, that is not illegal.
Wow.
Pimping out your child. When we saw that, even down to, everybody would have watched the movie Dancehall Queen. Everybody remember how that started?
Yes.
Dancehall Queen started with the mother essentially pimping out the child.
Bro, that happened here direct. And it isn't, and don't try to convince yourself that this is something for people of low, no. Because when we talk about this, we sometimes relegate it to things that
socioeconomic status.
Yeah, to socioeconomic status. No, this happens in the highest wrongs of society all the way right through. So this is something that is systemic throughout society. You understand? Like, anyway.
We have a call?
We have a call. Caller, good morning. Good morning, caller. I think we lost the caller. But yeah, that's honestly.
And it happens. It's by. You want to move on?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do, because Antigua is the hot topic today. So let's talk about it, because we have a few more minutes. Let's talk about the next thing happening in Antigua and Barbuda.
Y'all prove that y'all want to be Antigua, man.
So that article I read was about.
Hold on, Kevin,
the
before
caller's
we
back.
move on. Yeah, the caller's back.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I would like to attend this program. You guys ever came across where you're going to high school and knowing that they have teachers having sex with the students?
Yes.
And to this day, you know, it's still happening.
And the authorities and you know, they know. So it's
some of them are promoted to higher positions to deal with more children. I don't understand this thing. When you come a pedophile, you get access to more children.
What a calamity.
That's a real minute. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. But yeah, so you know, the previous article was about a comment made by a minister during the push for, you know,
non-violence.
Yeah. Now we're gonna talk about the minister. So the education minister of Barbuda, Antigua and Barbuda, is said to have resigned his post in the Gaston Brown administration. A high-ranking government source confirmed to Loop Caribbean that Michael Brown resigned with immediate effect on Wednesday, November 25th. The top-level source did not disclose the reason for his resignation, but the minister had recently been the subject of an investigation following a report from a woman. Brown's tenure as minister was riddled with controversy. In 2019, he was accused of failing to follow the proper procedure, costing the government over $9 million in a deal gone bad with a company contracted to provide over 6,000 tablets. According to the government source, Brown's replacement could be announced on Thursday, November 26th. And this is a following. So this article doesn't disclose what the current controversy is, but the current controversy is that he had he's said to have had sex with a woman, a 20-year-old.
Yeah, she was an adult. She was an adult.
22-year-old.
But something around sexual assault, it seems like.
And apparently, the individual. Keep it in mind. This is apparently. This is not
allegedly.
Allegedly, all right. So apparently, the individual consented to have sex with him, but during the interaction, she asked to stop, which he did not, and kept going while she asked to stop. And now here we are.
Yeah, guys.
Before
we even continue, no means no. Okay, let's get out of the way. Early o'clock, right?
Stop means stop.
Stop means stop, right? However, I'm seeing a lot of talk about the lack of information that is coming out of these reports. But this is something that is typical of these
kinds of allegations.
Yeah, this kind of allegations, and it's not to protect. We like to say it's to protect the.
No, it's not to protect.
It's actually to protect the identity of the victim. Right. So it's actually against the law, in most of these countries, to publish the names of perpetrators of these types of crimes, to protect the victim, not the perpetrator. Right. From what I have been seeing with this case, it seems as though the government has the Minister of Information actually made a statement, and they announcing the minister's resignation, or the ex-minister's resignation, and they seem to have distanced themselves from it, and it seems to be like the issue is now turned over to the police to do their investigation and all of that. So. It's a very interesting case, and we'll have to wait to see what happens. But why? Yo, dudes, just
stop.
Just stop, yo.
Stop means stop. You know, if you go to the dentist and you're extracting your teeth and it hurts and you ask him to stop, you would hope he stops, right?
One would hope.
Stop means stop. You know, when you were young and you're playing in the yard and y'all play fighting and the fight starts to get serious and you ask to stop, you would hope it stops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stop means stop.
Boy, what no? Sexual assault is such a slippery slope, boy. I fear bad him.
Yes,
Not
sir.
because I have bad intentions, but it is as simple
as an accusation. And
it's your word against theirs.
Yeah, change your entire life.
Change your entire life, and but it's scary, boy. That's why, like I said yesterday, when my brother went to school, I told him directly, do not ever entertain a woman in public, at a bar, at a club, under the influence of alcohol, on that night. If she's interested in you, take her number and tell her to call tomorrow. And you all have lunch and have a conversation. Don't ever carry home no woman, especially in North America and Europe. Because I've seen countless instances, right?
And that's what happened, I went to university in the US and it happened, people, my friends used to say, oh no, if she's interested, I used to have to take her number and have her and I'd leave and then I'd text her. And then, so there's a track record of the conversation and I'm like, all of that for what? It's just so much you have to deal with because, they just want the physical text because you can't go and show up. You can't go to court and provide a verbal conversation. Right. There's no transcript for that. Mm-hmm. So people would want to have to, to document the consent in some way by text or whatever, and it's slippery slope. I know we have lots of calls, but we are about to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to jump into an interview. So we will be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
This Christmas, open a world of new digital experiences with the new DL3 Pro from Digicel. It comes with a 5.5-inch screen to watch more Christmas classics, a dual 5-megapixel camera to capture more Christmas moments, and 32 gigabytes of storage to store all that you love. Plus, now when you buy the DL3 Pro, you get a 3-day Prime bundle included to enjoy everything from blockbuster movies and chart-topping music to streaming live sports and video chats, and so much more. Buy it for yourself or give someone you love. Only $299. Visit a Digicel store today. Digicel, better together this Christmas.
It's official! Friday, December 18th and Saturday, December 19th are VAT days. But you can come today and get pre-approved credit for VAT Day. Save some of the hassle of this VAT Day and drop by some of your local Hosford department stores today. Yes! Come to any Hosford department today and get pre-approved credit for December 18th and December 19th. No down payment necessary. That's right, zero money down. And no payment until February 2021. That's right. No payment until February 2021. Come to Hosford's today, where we will be dropping major discounts plus pre-approved credit when you shop now. How, you ask? Well, it's simple. All you have to do is visit any of the Hosford's departments, including furniture and appliances, Ashley Furniture Home Store, Building and Nevis Centers, and the Automotive Division. Make your VAT Day wish list, and we'll do the credit check. Come back on VAT Day and get all that you picked with your pre-approved credit and be on your way to a merrier Christmas. Whether it's it's new furniture, a new stove, or a brand new car, Hosford is giving you pre-approved credit today. Be on your way to a merrier Christmas. Pre-approved credit today for VAT days December 18th and December 19th at Hosford. Visit stores for all details.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali, and we are joined in studio with our friends from the cable. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you? How are you, ladies?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you, Pat?
I'm tired, but I'm doing great too.
You want to introduce yourselves to our listeners and viewers? You're on camera as well.
Okay.
Okay, I'm the CEO of the cable. I'm Pat Walters, the CEO of the cable.
Right. Boss lady in the building.
Yes.
And I'm Bibiana Hamilton Henry, and I'm the Chief Commercial Officer at the cable.
Excellent. So you have some good news for us this morning?
Yes.
You can't wait.
The level of excitement is
but
jumping
you
off the
should
screen.
say,
Yes.
"Oh, you have some good news." You shouldn't ask me, right? You should say,
well.
"Oh, yeah, okay, no problem."
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
we do.
okay. Sorry. I heard you had good news for this morning.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So apparently we're discussing the platinum loyalty card.
That's right.
That the cable is offering some of its valued customers. What exactly is this card all about?
Okay, so we're offering it to all of our valued residential customers
Okay.
in good standing. Exactly. So that means in good standing means their bills are up to date.
Mm-hmm.
It's a platinum. It's a MasterCard payment card.
Okay.
It's MasterCard chip and pin and contactless. So it's leading edge MasterCard.
Mm-hmm.
It can be used anywhere in the world. So yesterday at the launch, Mr. Thompson from the bank said there's 75 million outlets. It can be used at any of those outlets. So wherever MasterCard is taken, this card is taken too. Online, with ATM withdrawals, anything in a store. And so we're giving this card free to all of our residential customers. It's a prepaid card, so it's not a debit card.
Okay.
It's not a debit card, and it's not a credit card.
It's prepaid.
Nice.
Yes, it's prepaid, so it's loadable. You can load.
Right.
You can load funds on it.
That's lovely.
Yes, I think so because
Control your spending.
Exactly. And the other cool thing is you can transfer money from one card to another card. So if you wanted to take a card out for a son, daughter, spouse, family member, you'd take a card for them, and then you can just share money with them, and that's free. Transfer to transfer is free.
Nice. I'm sure, like, even people like parents who have kids in college and stuff like that will really take advantage of this, right?
Absolutely. In fact, it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while because my son, well, he's graduated now, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind a card and continue to receive payments from his parents, you know. But he's graduated and he's working. But I do have a daughter who hopefully will be off to her own studies soon, and so it is something that I've wanted for a long time. So I know normally one might have a debit card with whichever financial institution, but that does entail a certain risk because that opens up your entire savings account to those masters out there who are not too happy with you, you know.
Right.
And so this prepaid card is an excellent card that you can give as gifts to your kids. You have kids in school, even here in St. Kitts, CFBC, high school. we know that the world has changed. It's not going back to where it was before. This is a world that is becoming more and more digital. And so just like mobile phones, we often joke that you give your 2-year-old a mobile phone and in no time he knows more about that phone than you do. And so that is really how it is. It's becoming a contactless world. And so it's ideal for children in school who can order lunches and have it delivered. I know that there are some restaurants who actually deliver meals to the schools. And so it's really ideal for parents who have children all around. It's an ideal card.
Yeah, new way to give you a loans, right?
That's right. And the thing about it is that a lot of kids have aunts and uncles and grown-up friends overseas. And this allows them to very easily and conveniently load money on this card.
Oh, for sure. But who's eligible for the card? Do you have to be a customer of the cable? Like, who's eligible?
So all residential customers of the cable are eligible once they're in good standing.
Oh, nice.
And do you have to have a National Bank account to have the card?
No.
So how does that work?
So
how does one put money on the card to be able to then,
So you load money at National Bank, and you will be able to load money at the cable.
Oh,
okay.
And
Nice.
In phase 2, you'll be able to load online.
Oh, wow.
We're trying to make it
which
exactly.
like Viviana
We're trying
said.
to make it as seamless and as simple and easy as possible in this new era where we're going cashless. It's inevitable. We are going cashless, and our societies are very cash based. And so, how do you reduce those barriers to make people comfortable to be able to be in this digital world? Because lots of people are suspicious about having a card, about people having access to their money. This way, it's whatever you put on that's the level of exposure. And it's a full MasterCard, so it has full fraud protection. So we have people, the bank has people, it's a bank card, we're just co-branding. So they have the normal monitoring measures. Any kind of unusual activity will trigger a normal email like with any other of the financial services cards. So it's protected, it's chip and pin. So it has the hologram, it's very secure, and it's also contactless as well, like I said. So as you don't to hand your card to anybody in this COVID environment, you can tap it at those those machines that take contactless cards.
Love it.
Love it.
Wow.
And you mentioned that it's a good way for your aunts and uncles to top up the card, and you said phase 2 will bring that option where people can do that online.
Yes.
I think it's a great push because if you lose $20 on the street, you lose $20 on the street. But if you lose the card, you can call and you can put a stop on the card immediately, and whatever you lost is still there.
Agreed.
So I really like that this is being pushed. But tell me more about traveling. Are there traveling fees associated with the card, with using the card overseas?
So the fees are any normal fees that you would have, or currency conversion fees when you travel. But there's no monthly fee.
Okay.
There's no annual fee. There's a loading fee when you load the card of $2. When you share money, there's no fees. It's just a flat fee.
Oh my gosh.
This is EC dollars.
It's EC dollars.
Wow.
It's an EC dollar card.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if you withdraw from a national bank ATM, it's free. If you withdraw from any other ATM, whether it's overseas or here, there's that normal charge.
Right.
And it normally comes up and asks you if you accept the charge. So there'll be that charge. There'll be a currency conversion charge, but that would be the financial institutions. So how you convert EC to sterling or to US dollars, or that's out of our control. So there will be those fees. When you shop, it's a normal MasterCard. So whatever you buy, if you buy something for $10, that's what comes up your card. The fee that the merchant or the shop has to pay, you won't see. But that's like a normal credit card.
So how do we, loading this card, what platform is there for us to check the balances? And
so National Bank has a portal website, and you create your own account. So you go in, you go in and you can check your balance. You can send emails to National Bank. You can transfer from the portal, I think in phase 2. Yes, but you have your own account, your own online account.
But you will be able to transfer on the portal from one prepaid card to another.
Correct.
Also, you can transfer between
Yes.
cards.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, yes.
So in the
Nice.
instance of, you sold me on this kids thing. I don't have any, but
And I'm afraid you are totally out of that league now,
Yeah, I
right?
think he just let himself out the bag.
I'm not having any at all. But you know, for in the instance of, you said you create your own account so you can monitor and see your balance and everything. How does that work in terms of a child? You know, if you give your 14-year-old an account, they have to create their own account, and can you have access to that account to monitor their spending? And
Yeah, the minimum age for the card is 12 years old, but the parent has to sign for the child at that age.
Okay.
There will be a portal, but the parent will be managing the portal.
Right.
Okay, so
Yes.
the balance and everything is viewable by the parent.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, because
Awesome.
the parent will have the access to that account for the child.
Okay, so is there a limit as to how much money that we can put on the card?
So monthly, it's $20 minimum load and 10,000 EC dollars a month load.
I don't think any kids in St. Kitts exceed $20,000, $10,000 in lunch. Do we?
You'd be surprised.
Not as far as I know.
I am wondering if maybe Pat would exceed $10,000.
She has nice lunches.
She's a foodie. I think you're saying she's a
Hope you
foodie.
like this.
No, not quantity, but quality.
True. Flying something from somewhere.
Yeah, just flying some king crab. And
but what it does though is that there are some people like businessmen maybe who have to make large purchases, and it's ideal for them to load on that amount and
make
then
the purchase.
yes, and make those purchases.
Yeah,
And
But
you-
all large loads will, of course, be subject to the anti-money laundering compliance rules for the bank. So it's not a way that you can just load lots of money
Right.
on. There are controls and restrictions on the way that you
It's
can
still a
load.
bank managed card.
Right,
Correct.
definitely.
Yes.
So you said it's 10,000 per month.
Correct.
So the accumulated balance can be more than $10,000.
I think so. Yes. I need to clarify that with the bank.
Right, because
Yes.
you know, if I want to make a $30,000 purchase, I'd have to load it 10,000.
Agreed.
Right.
Yes.
You know, over the 3 months.
It was specific as per month, so
Right.
we'll check.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't think I'd have that kind of money. First of all, I don't think I'd have any purchase.
I was about to ask Kevon for a loan.
Yeah.
We're simple folk. Simple folk.
But you know, you mentioned that there's no monthly fee, no annual fee. What's the interest rate on the card?
It's not a credit card. There's no interest rate payable or paid. So if you put the money on, that's
Nothing.
it. Yeah, so we don't pay interest on the
Right.
card and we don't deduct interest.
Love it. So you only spend what's there,
Yes.
This sounds so good. I don't
right?
I'm trying to find flaws.
It's been a long labor of love, so we
So-
try to make it as easy, and convenient as possible.
So you said it would be offered first to the existing customers, good standing customers. How long does it take once a person requests a card?
What's the approval?
Right.
So 7 to 10 days normally. So if you're already a customer in good standing, you're already pre-approved. All we have to do is validate an up-to-date piece of ID and make sure we have a valid email so that if there's any fraud alerts or anything like that, they can contact you, validate contact number and the way that you want your name on the card. So if you're an existing customer up to date, you're already pre-approved. You have to call us, come into the store, or just email us at platinumloyalty@thecable.biz and we'll take it from there.
So all the application process and getting signed up and everything takes place at the cable offices or online?
Either. You can do it
Oh, wow.
online, you can call us, we can do it over the phone. Because remember, you're already a customer. We've
Right.
already got your signature, we've already got your piece of ID, you've been with us, we've seen your payment history. So all of that is already validated.
And you don't have to go into the bank line.
No.
Imagine that.
we don't like bank lines.
I don't think anybody likes lines anymore.
So, what if I lose my card? What do I do?
There's a number at the back. There's a number, just like with any other card, there's a number at the back. You contact the bank and they'll take you through there. They can stop it, they'll replace it, etc. There is a fee for replacement of the card. There's a $40 EC fee to replace the card. And you can have up to 2 additional cards. So if you want a card for your daughter, your son, a family member, you can have up to 2 additional cards. The cost of those is 35 EC and a $10 activation fee.
A one-time fee, very easy.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
So that would come up to 45 EC for an additional card.
Correct.
The new card fee and the activation.
And the activation, correct. Yes.
Somebody asked me yesterday, what if I wanted a card for a friend?
That was my next question, actually.
Yes. So I'm a customer of the cable. It's not my husband. It's not my child.
We're not into people's business, you know. If you want an additional card, you can get up to 2. We're not telling you who it has to be.
Okay. So it's not confined to family members and relations,
No.
you know, immediate relations.
No.
But they get their name on the card, so
Yes.
that is incredible.
Yes. But because they're not a customer of ours, they do have to bring in ID and some other things because we
Right,
can't validate them. And like we said, there are financial services restrictions, so they will have to fill out a more detailed application. But apart from that, you can give your card to anybody.
Wow.
And the thing is, I really want to commend the cable because we hear the name the cable and we know traditionally what the company offers, and we've seen over the last few months, like the cable has been giving us these packages and these new offers, things like the card that we probably wouldn't traditionally think the company would be getting into. But you guys have executed something here that's...
It does make you wonder what's next, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely.
What's after this?
And I am sure there's a plan.
But you know, if you think about the cable and telecoms companies in general, what do? We facilitate connectivity, yes?
Mm-hmm. Right.
In this world of digitalization, how more do you need to be connected than the way that you shop and kind of transact business in your life? And then, of course, and how do? You do it over the internet, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you didn't think you think the card's good, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, there's more. It gets
Before we get to that, I have another question because we're ready for more.
We like exclusives here.
You know, you piqued my interest when it comes to the card being you can give an additional card to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work if you would like to cancel that card that you've already requested for someone?
You go through the bank.
The bank would have to cancel,
Yes.
and it can be cancelled immediately.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So if your card was stolen, for example, we would have to cancel it. Yes. So yes, it can be.
Or me and Amali are not friends anymore, and I want to
Correct.
cancel his card.
Cutting you, yes.
Cutting you off.
And that's fine. I just go to the cable and get one for myself.
But then you have to load it yourself.
Yeah, and it's your money anyway. So, in terms if you no longer wish to have the card or you want to think about it for a while before you cancel it, it's your money.
It's there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it. All right, time for good news. Extra good news.
Okay, so the sweetener is, of course, we're trying to get our customers, every single customer, every citizen, into the digital age. This card gives them access to online anything, but you need good internet, right? Mm. And so if you spend your card, if you pay your cable bill for 3 consecutive months, you get an automatic upgrade to the next internet package.
Oh.
For free?
For free.
What are you saying?
Absolutely.
Wait, can you repeat that for me, please?
If you use your card to pay your cable bill in full for 3 consecutive months, we will upgrade you to the next internet package for free. So what does that mean? You brought an internet brochure?
Suppose I already have the highest internet package.
We're going to give you more bandwidth.
Oh my word.
Yes, sir.
She has answers for everything.
For everything, you
have the brochure?
But one question, is it a free upgrade?
Yeah. It's a free
upgrade.
Totally free. A totally free upgrade. So it actually means a savings from around $42 if you're on Flash to $171 if you're on a Storm.
Oh, wow.
Right, so here you go. So imagine 6 months ago you were on Flash when we were at 6 megs and you paid $97, yeah? Now, remember it was 6 megs, it's now 15 megs at 97. You get your card, you pay for 3 months, you pay 97 for 35 megs.
And this is just one. This is a one upgrade.
It's just one upgrade, but it continues once you use your card.
So if I pay for another 3 months, another upgrade?
No.
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 Come on, Amali. Come on, Amali.
You get the same upgrade, it just stays in
It
place.
just, and the price, you continue to
Right.
pay the previous price.
The previous price.
What?
That's exactly. It's a free upgrade.
It's a free
Amali,
upgrade.
Upgrade.
for being diligent in your
It
payments.
seems
You caught him off guard.
it seems hard to comprehend.
So if I pay my So if I pay my bill, if I pay my bill on time for 3 months using
the card,
our new
Platinum card.
the cable platinum card, right, for 3 consecutive months on time in full, and I'm currently under the Flash internet package, which is $97 monthly, I will be then upgraded to the Bold package, but still pay $97.
Yes,
Still
that's
paying
exactly
$97
right.
For the rest of my life.
As long
Once
as you
you stay
lose the
compliant,
card.
yeah.
Yes, once you stay compliant, up to date, using the card to pay your bill.
So just continue paying the card with your bill, paying
Crazy.
the bill with your card, and you keep your
Outrageous.
price.
Crazy. Anything less to be uncivilized.
I think that is an amazing deal, because you know, and then Amali asked the question, what if you're already at the top tier? You get more bandwidth. How much more, if you don't mind me asking?
We're just working that through, but it will be
A bump. It
will be a bump.
Okay. Lost for words, honestly. Amali is
He doesn't believe it.
Wow.
So you see, we're getting you into the digital age with the way that you transact business and the transport system, your internet.
Love it.
Wow.
Now, does this card? It's a prepaid card. Does this card have a point system? Do you accumulate points?
No,
or
it's
anything?
not that type of loyalty card.
Okay.
But what we will be doing is partnering with business locally, so that, you know, at certain times there'll be special promotions if you use the
Okay.
card.
Nice.
Love it.
Nice. I'm excited.
So am I.
I approve.
So what if? So I
I
have a
approve.
question. What if since it's a prepaid card, you know, I can only use what's on it.
Correct.
Let's say there's $30 on it, and I make a $35 purchase. What happens?
It would be declined. And there is a decline fee.
Mhm.
So I think the decline fee is $2
It's
as well.
$2, I
Yes,
think, already.
yes.
Just not
So
bad.
that's why you go onto the
Minor.
account and just check
your balance
beforehand.
before you use
Yes.
it.
And you can also call and check your balance.
Too easy.
Too easy, honestly.
Say less.
Well, you know, most of our loyal customers, you know, have been with us for over 20 years. And so at that age group, it cannot be too difficult. It has to be something that's really simple. I mean, you guys are young, you guys, you know, be able to...
This already
get
makes
back
sense to me
minute.
before you even tell me about it.
So, so it has to make sense to everybody, because we don't want to leave anybody behind.
Right. And I think based on what you're saying, what I'm reading, it's something that's easy for people to understand and to begin using and begin seeing the benefits of the card. By the way, the card looks absolutely sexy.
Very
quite
pretty.
lovely, actually.
Yeah.
I'll show
It's
the
quite
viewers
lovely.
if
That's absolutely deliberate.
It looks platinum.
Yes.
So this is the palm tree here, right?
Yeah.
Coconut tree?
It's our logo.
The cable logo.
Cable's logo.
The cable logo.
Yeah, it's a coconut. It's a little coconut.
Okay, it's coconut tree. So this, on the actual card, this is actually like reflective like platinum?
Yes.
I tell you, sexy.
I told you it's deliberate.
You know, you should have bought one and left it here by accident.
Sign up and you'll get your card before
Oh,
Christmas.
boy. Oh, boy.
So the other thing is, to get the cards before Christmas, we're asking people to call in, email in, visit us, to register that they want the card, so that we can, by next week Friday, by the 4th of December, so that we can send off all the card requests in one go and get the cards back. It's 7 to 10 days after.
Yeah.
So we're asking everyone to do it,
Sweet.
please now. Yeah.
And I
Express.
think
Yeah.
Perfect Christmas gift.
I think
Yes.
perfect Christmas gift, and I think this is also, you know, we have a lot of people that really go all out for Christmas. I think this is also a great way to control Christmas spending.
Yes.
You are so
Kevon, you speaking about yourself?
right.
No, I don't shop for
You
Christmas.
are so. That's an excellent
I'm
point.
talking about the fits.
I party for Christmas. I don't spend for Christmas.
I was thinking that's an excellent point, because as we were driving to the office this morning with my daughter, and my son is coming home for Christmas, and we were saying we need to purchase anything now so that he could get it to bring home. And she was saying, "But mommy, I have 700 things on Shine.com or whatever that
Shane?
is. Shane. That's right. On Shane.com. They're asking me to give out too much now. But I'm like, this is so perfect for her because whatever money is on that prepaid card, that's all she can spend.
when it stop, it drops.
I don't have to be too surprised when I log into the bank account and I'm seeing like her savings account is okay.
I have to give you this story. One of my friends said that because there's lots of people that haven't got a card for whatever reason, they haven't got access to shop online. And somebody asked if they could borrow his card to shop online, and we know that happens. And so he said, okay then. He gave them the card and they did the transaction, but it was due to expire. The card was due to expire. So he let them use it, and then he had the replacement card. So once he triggered his replacement card, that card was null and void. So 2 weeks later, they called and said, but your card's expired. He said, well, what do you mean? They said, well, I tried to use it again.
Wow.
So this way, they're not exposing, lending somebody your card or even having them in your business to understand what you're buying, right?
Right. Because, people do get out of line sometimes when it comes to spending.
Question. Say, for example, I have a teenager. Like in your case, I'm assuming that you get a card to, and then can you go online and monitor the
transaction
payment histories and their habits?
The portal.
So once the parent signs for it, yes, but if the teenager's over that legal limit, they'll have their own portal.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And
but I mean, somebody who's underage who's still under your supervision.
So
between your 14-year-old son, you can see.
You would have to sign for it, so you would see.
So, and you said it's 12. So
12,
between 12 and 18,
12,
you can you see the spending habits. So then that's a good way for you to track as well.
Yeah, and it's nice too at an early age to get kids into budgeting and spending wisely and that sort of thing.
All you have is $50 for the month. Make it last.
Yes, exactly.
And then you can see where they decided to spend that $50 versus them just spending it.
Could be a conversation afterwards. Financial literacy.
Right.
Yes.
I love it. Early habits. This is
quite exciting, Kevon.
This is very exciting, honestly.
Thank you.
I don't have anybody to give a card to, and I'm thinking about who to give a card to.
Watch me here. Watch me over here.
I waited for you to give me one. But honestly, this is really amazing. I love the fact that it's loadable, controlled spending. If you want to Christmas shop, which I know everyone wants to do, this is the best thing to use, a prepaid card. You can only spend what's there.
Yes.
And the latest technology being strip, chip, and contactless.
That's right.
Yeah. Like I just feel bad sometimes when I travel, when I used to travel. And I had to swipe my card, and everybody else was going to tap in theirs. I used to feel bad.
Listen, this is
that's a thing of the past now.
Thing of the past. Cable is up to date. So get it together. You have tapped cards now. But love it. Okay. Any other information? Because it seems like we're pulling things out of hats today.
Okay, that's it for
me.
I don't believe you.
There is
you don't believe me?
No.
Okay.
No.
There is one other thing, though.
Yes, here we go.
So we were just talking about the value of the card. And coming up soon, we're going to have a 12 days of Christmas promotion. That's right. And so sign up for your card between now and December 4th so that you can benefit from that 12 days promotion. And the 12 days promotion, of course, starts on December 8th. And every day from December 8th, you would pick a winner, and that winner gets from $100. The next day, that winner gets $200, $300, and it goes up to $1,200 on the 12th day.
I'm going by the cable right.
So help me.
But you've got to be in it to win it. So you have to get your name in there now.
So when your card does come, those winners, it will be loaded with the winners.
Yes.
Instantly. So do you have to be using your card to be eligible? Once you have the card, do you have to be actively using the card to be eligible for the 12 days?
You
not for this one.
Oh, you won't have them yet.
You won't have them yet. So by the time the cards come, the winners will be loaded.
They'll be loaded. Okay. They'll be loaded. But we have your names because you would have signed up for the card, we'll be selecting from those people
imagine
who have.
you get a card
and it's already
loaded.
If I got a card and it has $100 on it, I will be so
it wouldn't last very long.
But I'll be very happy.
And this is one winner per day?
One winner per day, that's correct.
Love it.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So I think we know where we're going.
Yeah, we're going cable light after this.
And so remember, you can email us in, you can call us.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to actually have to physically walk in, you don't have to either.
And that email address is platinumloyalty@thecable.biz. B-I-Z.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
You got me so intrigued today. One more question. So, let's say for most people, the homeowner is who has the account at the cable. And let's say I'm a member of the household, I'm beyond the 18. Can I request, or do I have to have?
It has to be in the homeowner's name. For the financial regulations,
Right.
It has to be in the
So
name
the
of the
homeowner-
customer. Correct.
Well, the account owner has to
Apply
request
for the
a card,
and then they can
an
get
additional.
one for you. Correct.
Okay, got
Yes.
it.
Sorry, Daddy gotta come.
Come
I'll
on,
just open my own.
I was about to say, you just get your own.
I just do my
cable
own.
account.
That's right. That's right.
Love it.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you too. Thanks for accommodating us.
This was very, very good information. And, any other promotions happening,
Of course, I left them for
we
you.
hope you come back and tell us and let us know when phase 2 rolls out so we can
Yes, that would be
we
good.
can do some updates, and we're very excited about this. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you for accepting us.
Wonderful.
And you're the first. You're the first.
We're the first. We love exclusives here. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you very much.
All right. We'll take a very, very short break, and we'll come back with more Island Tea only on Win Media SK, and we'll be right back.
Found the sound. 98.9.
When the star them there, we a top man, we take charge. Magnum we drink and we a shell down hard. Blast like a star with some a gal apart. Overdo it, we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We a hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man then. Wine with the style, no stop from spin. Hot blend, back bend, and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine, for the real star them. Take charge, take charge. Must be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
Went to a dance last Saturday night. I was feeling tipsy and the mood was right. Sight a little daughter and I step in the corner. 'Cause I feel like dancing all night. But I said, cool down the pace for me, little woman. You're dubbing it too fast for me. Cool down the pace for me, little woman. That's not how it should be. I told her to try. I don't know why. No use trying 'cause she can't until she do it how she wants. So I said, cool down the pace for me, little woman. You're rocking it too fast for me. Cool down the pace for me, little woman. trying, but she can't. And so she do it how she wants. Yeah. But I beg you, cool down the pace for me, little woman. You're dubbing it too fast for me. I said to cool down the pace for me, little woman. That's not how it should be. Please, sister, try. I don't know why. No use trying 'cause you can't. And so she do it how she wants. Yeah. But I said cool down the pace. Please cool down the pace. You're rocking it too fast. This dance is gonna last. Move a little slower.
Cool Down the Pace by the Cool Ruler himself.
Cool Down.
His Excellency, Greg Grazer. Oh my gosh.
Perfect. Perfect song.
Perfect song. Perfect song. After all that heat that the cable brought into the studio just now. Welcome, sir.
Good morning.
We've just been joined by another honorable, the honorable
indeed,
Brandon Ellsworth Cranstoun of ASAP. What do you see? You stand for Creative Entertainment?
Creative Entertainment.
Of ASAP Creative Entertainment.
ASAP Creative Group.
It's ASAP. You got to change the E to a G now.
Soon enough.
Just now?
Yeah, so. But the CE represents creative and represents entertainment as well. So yeah, CE represents creative and entertainment as well, based on how the group started.
Okay then. Okay. So for those of of the folks listening who aren't familiar with you or what you do, why don't you give us a brief rundown of who Brandon Cranstoun is?
My name is Brandon Cranstoun, founder of ASAP Creative Group. We do a lot. I mean, we are into marketing and production, video production, and event planning and management as well. We are the producers of ASAP Glow Parade, and recently formed another entity under the name of ASAP Band. So we are well-rounded in the field of entertainment and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So when did this all begin for you? I'm assuming it was at what people refer to as a tender age.
Yeah.
When you realized that you had the eye or the knack or the interest in creativity, in graphics,
Definitely.
in production.
This is a nice question for me to answer, because I mean, I didn't know I was creative until people started telling me, because I just thought I would be doing normal stuff, like just, you come up with an idea and you try to do it and you think it's something normal for you, but people see it and they're like, wow, this is genius, or this is something. So after a time, I mean, in my teenage years is when I started realizing, okay, well, I think I'm a creative person. That is when it really hit. And then it's almost like at that age, it was basically being like a monkey with a gun, because like you'd never really understand how to get the best out of your brain at that point in time. So it's like, it took a couple of years to master it. And then while we were in college, I was into music and I used to like to party. I ain't even gonna try to dumb it down in any way. I tried to tame it down. I used to go out a lot when I was young. And that is what really gave me the
when he was younger.
When I was younger. Well, when I wasn't supposed to be out, I was out. Having reasons to be out, I was in a band, and so we were out, and we saw a lot of different stuff, and it inspired you to do it. Majority of the time, I was the youngest person there. So while I was in college, I started the motion of wanting to create an environment for young people to feel like they're accepted in entertainment. So that's where we started doing like college parties, and that is where ASAP really started from, because we were really a student government party, and then we were famous for throwing events, and then that turned into something. And then during those events, we used to promote it in a kind of way where we do a lot of video ads and commercials. I always had a liking for commercials and that type of stuff, so we just used to do that. And we'd make it on things like Pep TV and People Show, and like people was like, yo, we never see anything like this before. And everybody started reaching out and asking, hey, can you make a video for me? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm like, no, it ain't nothing that we actually do seriously. It's just something that we do to promote our events, because we actually used to do like skits and promo videos. I'm not sure if anybody here might be familiar with it, but yeah. And we basically built something from there, and then a colleague of mine, he was actually the video producer, and I would be the one with the concept and tell him I want this, I want that. And he had all the software and the equipment, a J Dublin, and I would sit down with him and we would start editing and do whatever. I would say, hey, take this out, put in that or whatever. But I did not know how to do any production at all. And then being that we were in college, he furthered his education in Jamaica, so he had to leave, and then I basically was stuck with just concepts alone and nobody to produce. So that prompted me to kind of get into the production and sit behind a computer and try to edit. And having a background in music, I kind of used that to reference and taught myself how to do video production. And that is where it all started for me in terms of production and graphic designing and so forth.
Fabulous. I'm very familiar personally with ASAP's work. As a matter of fact, I got something on him for me right now. I think I'm abused a lot after we finish the show.
Definitely.
But extremely talented. Even in terms of the video production, I wouldn't recommend it. But you could call Brandon on Monday and get exceptional work on Monday or on Tuesday. It's not advised, because obviously sometimes this plate is very full, but wonderful video production, wonderful photography, wonderful animation, and most recently wonderful music. There was an event, I think it was last week Saturday. Yeah, an event called Maximum over at Club Karma over there in the Shukers Complex, and very, very big names on the ticket over there. I got there late, but I was able to catch the last 10 minutes of the show. But when I walked in, the first thing I was greeted with was people saying, wow, ASAP Band take the cake tonight. And that was their debut performance. Nobody had ever heard them before. How long were you guys practicing before you decided to come out and
to be honest, the band basically formed due to COVID. That is the only reason. COVID-19 has been a crazy experience for a lot of people, and explaining that I had a background in music before, that I never really was allowed to take up having a little business, and you have to basically manage your time in a manner where it makes a lot more sense. And I never really took the further step with music before, but during the lockdown, being at home, I actually was in quarantine for 28 days after being in contact with someone who had COVID and that type of stuff. So during that 28 days, the only sanity I could have found was music, to be honest. So I had my laptop and FL Studio. I was writing songs. Before, I always used to write songs and come up with concepts and share with colleagues within the entertainment industry, but I never really took the songwriting serious. But during COVID, it really prompted me too, because that's probably the only thing that kept me sane throughout the whole time. Not being able to work, not being able to leave the house, not being able to do things as normal. Right. Something had to keep you grounded, and music was it. And then basically after we was allowed to move around and persons was allowed to interact, I was like, hey, I have all these instruments here at home. I would tamper with each one and try to teach myself another one in my free time. And so I reached out to a group of friends and I was like, man, let's link up on the weekend and play some music.
Right.
And because bands weren't allowed to play, fets weren't happening, events weren't happening. Some people couldn't even go to bars and lime. So I was like, group of us, I turned my office into a band hall, as my family would call it. And that's basically where it started. And then when we got together, we started playing and so forth, and then we realized, well, there was some potential further than just what we were doing. And then, I asked the question. I was like, hey, guys, you want to take this thing serious? And they was like, yes, sure, let's go. And then that's where it came. And then, events started happening again. I mean, we missed out on a lot of events because we decided we wanted to practice enough and not just rush it. And we looked at a catalog of music that wasn't really being played, in the most recent times. And we decided to just come back with some songs that could possibly, create a great experience for persons who would be liming now and who would have been liming, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that type of stuff.
Okay then. So what kind of music does ASAP band focus on?
We focus primarily on soca, but we are seeking to do a lot more within the dancehall and the reggae area. I mean, we backed up Dijon and Byron.
I was going to mention that, because you also backed up, all the artists that performed at the event last weekend. And how was that experience?
It was really good. I mean,
you're taking photo with Azim Motel?
No, of course not. Of course not.
As it was in the corner watching.
Yeah, as
over in the corner with the arms folded, waiting to slash a tire.
Normally, they should call back at Alice,
As it was waiting.
Azim is my good partner, so he ain't gonna try to do that.
He used to be a good partner.
No, man, all the reviews.
If
All
you
the
catch a
reviews
slash
are.
tire, it's Azim.
Yeah, all the reviews I've been hearing is been even since the same night.
Yeah,
been all
same
positive.
night.
Been positive.
Yeah, it was a really good experience. I mean, having a concept and having a vision is always nice when you see it being executed and executed well. I mean, I'm somebody who I almost try to do things as perfect as possible. Nobody's perfect, but I always try to get there as close as the 100 mark as possible. And I was just walking around and looking at the guys perform on stage with the band, and I was like, well, this sounds like something is good, something is happening good. And then the reviews from everyone was 100% positive. And then it was a tough challenge to have a good sound inside of that club because of the acoustics and that type of stuff. But I think we worked well enough and gave it our best in terms of sound and deliverance.
Okay, cool. So what's next for the band? I mean, you have a strong business head. I mean, I can't even afford to hire the band and Brandon refused to move on price. The band decided last week,
Right.
Last week, and I can't even negotiate. Mention teacher well, but
we could always work out something. I mean, well, what's next for the band? I would say we would try to reach as far as we can. I mean, we have a lot of potential within the band, and the entertainment industry on a whole has a lot of potential once we get back on that level that we left off in prior to COVID. Music-wise, I'm currently working on a song named Solidarity. I think that would be probably the first track for the band. I mean, there's a lot of songs that can be done, but in the essence of time and the period that we're in, I think we would just probably come out with a single and then probably gradually put songs out there. I mean, it's a rough time for everyone, and time constraints in terms of producers have time and the studios and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So for now, Solidarity, that's a song about togetherness. A lot of things went down this year in terms of people just being at it, and I think that we need a message out there to kind of bring everybody back together on the same page. And that's what Carnival does. That Carnival is probably the only thing, an entertainment that brings people together on a large scale.
Nice,
so we are hoping for better days to come when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And I would say, I mean, I always wanted to do something like this. Many people might not know. People might have been surprised to see me on a stage singing. And I mean, I myself was surprised jumping up in the crowd with people and that type of stuff. I was like, wow. It was like living a dream in a sense.
But Brandon, I mean, we have a few more minutes, and one of the things that you haven't mentioned that I find very interesting is the fact that you kind of grew up in a musical family.
Yes.
A musical family. Talk about that for a little bit.
So my dad, he's a very known musician. He's a singer, and he also has a background in music. So that would be primarily where I hear most of the music from. He has an establishment that plays a lot of songs. So, I mean, people might say you might be too young to know that song, but I've been hearing these songs on records from, growing up. And also, I have an uncle. He was basically one of the founding members of the team of New Vibes Band. So I basically grew up. New Vibes used to practice in my grandparents' house on the Berry Road. Many
Yeah.
people might not know that.
Mhm.
And you know, so I would have been very much into the band music from a long time. And I used to come to. I never lived in St. Kitts all of my life. I moved here when I was about 11 years old. But prior to that, I used to come for every carnival and every music festival, and loving the culture here. That's the reason why I wanted to live. I cried to live in St. Kitts, because after I thought it was paradise. Coming for carnival and seeing all, because where I used to live is in St. Martin, and the band culture is not the same over there. They have bands over there. They have a lot of bands. They have all the equipments that they could ever wish to have, but bands don't play every weekend. They would just play once a year, which is carnival. So being in a different environment where you could see your favorite band every weekend, that was crazy for me, and I wanted that. And that is what got me into entertainment on so many different levels, as a video producer, a marketer, a promoter, an organizer of a street event that is heavily influenced by the culture of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, and it's interesting to see how the legacy kind of continues too. I mean, I would have been a fan of your dad's music. Even the song he produced last year.
Yes.
It was one of my favorite songs of the Sugar Mass.
Yeah, definitely.
And to see, you know, coming up and you know, doing this thing. A lot of people didn't know that you sing and things before and been around bands all this
Definitely.
time.
Because I'm to be honest, taking this step to come on a stage is a big step for me, because I'm a more person in the background, just into production. You know how production people are. We just like to see things get done, and everybody come and they enjoy themselves, and then we head home and, you know, have a smile about it. But taking that step was a big step for me. But I've been involved in the entertainment and musical background, because many artists send songs to me for review, and they would say, you know, what do you think about this? I write in a song. Or some people send me beats and be like, I want, you know, so a hook for this or some melody for this here. And I would do it, and I would not even see it as a service. I just do it out of the enjoyment of it. And I went to Trinidad last year for Carry Festa, and I met someone here, and, you know, they basically tell me, when you reach Trinidad, you know, come down and, you know, we can, you know, like, show you the place and so forth. And he carried me to Desha's studio. That was like a surprise to me, and I'm over there giving feedback on music and that type of stuff, and I'm just like, I didn't even sign up for this, but it's happening. And then so, you know, in conversation, I was like, hey, you know, like, I just write songs or whatever, and I want to get into the songwriting thing. And he said to me, you know, well, like, what you have? So I'm thinking, you know, like, this is Trinidad people, you know, like, I gotta come with something good. And I had a video of a song that I had, the same Solidarity song, and I sent it to him. And his reaction made me kind of, you know, start to contemplate, because I was like, wow. Because he said to me, do not change this song. Keep it just like that. Don't add anything to it. Don't take out nothing from it.
Right.
Keep it just like that. I was thinking maybe, you know, they would have had some input. And that might have been a situation where I'm just thinking maybe, you know, they were more so into the music or whatever. But to hear that from someone who writes for Destra, who writes for Marshall, that was really, you know, complimenting.
Right. And confirm we've been putting your energy into.
That really gave me the motivation to, you know, come up with this song and, you know, take it a little bit more serious. And, you know, when I told them, you know, I'm getting into the band stuff and whatever, and they was like, yeah, man, that's good. Keep it up. So I hope to be more involved in, you know, a lot more events in a different capacity in terms of entertaining a crowd now. First, I would be documenting people entertaining crowds now. I'm on the other end of the camera, so I mean, I think it should be a fun experience overall.
You know, just a while ago you mentioned Sugar Mass. Do you see ASAP Band competing for Old March next carnival?
I would say, yeah. I mean, it's worth a challenge. You don't know what is in the pipelines for you unless you contest.
You make it happen, yeah. Yeah, wonderful.
I mean, I wouldn't just say it don't make any sense. I mean, if we could enter, we will enter.
Right. So can we expect to see on the road as well?
Possibly.
On the ASAP trailer? Because you don't got a trailer,
we got everything already.
But you way ahead a lot of people.
The trailer living here.
Yeah, so,
more than one, actually.
That's something that we actually went on the road already, you know. And then it wasn't
Glopion, you're saying Glopa Radio?
No, it was for a back route. We did a promotion for Backroll, and that was just that also inspired the whole band concept.
That was before there was ASAP Band, but it was the same construct, the same team.
It was a joke. We call it ASAP Band as a joke, because basically we had Backroll, and then I was in promoter mode at the time, event organizer mode, and I was like, everybody go on the road with a DJ. Everybody, they have somebody talking or whatever. So I was like, how can we be different as a team? And I looked at it, I was like, I got a bunch of instruments in here, my personal instruments at home. And then I contacted the guy who was providing the sound. I said, you think you can facilitate a band? His name is Aknel, and he said, yeah man, sure. So I said, well, I got some instruments there. Let me make some calls and see who I could find to come and play. We never practiced before. And when the truck was up at the food court, I had the concept of going and sing, but I didn't really think it through. I was like, I really got to go on this truck and sing by. Like I was, I kind of, yeah, right. So I up there, I put on a hat, and I just went on the road, and we started playing however, and everybody wanna know about what band that is, which like who band this, and people thought it was one of the other big bands and whatever, and when we got into the the villages and so forth, we saw the response of people, and to me it was crazy. Persons were messaging me about like, I didn't know you was into these kind of thing and so forth. And I think we had one of the liveliest trucks on the road too, so that is where it started for us. So that's where the band started as a joke, and then in the COVID it became a bit more serious.
Okay, cool. Well, Brandon, what's next for ASAP as it relates to the rest of your businesses now, like the production and the videography and that kind of stuff?
Everything remains. I mean, this year has not been much. Not much have been done this year because obviously we are heavy when it comes to entertainment and marketing as well. The economy is horrible, and
horrible.
it's the honest truth. I mean, COVID, the pandemic messed up a lot of things, but I mean, it's all about resilience. I mean, once you can cope through a time like this, I think you can basically find a way how to bounce back and push forward. So I've seen
bounce back and push forward. World March 2021.
All right. Well, I could say so. But yeah, I mean, I think we will be still having a position in entertainment and marketing, the corporate side. I mean, we've been trying to do a couple of projects on this side as well, so just look out for it.
Brilliant. Brandon Cranstoun of ASAP Creative Group, Creative Entertainment, ASAP Band, ASAP Production, ASAP Photography, ASAP Videography. You don't cook too?
Yeah, we can cook.
I remember.
So ASAP Kitchen is ASAP.
Yeah, the grill.
Yeah, the
you were having cookouts like it was during lockdown, innit?
Yeah.
Like on a Sunday.
Just before the lockdown.
Yeah, pork and chicken and on the weekend on the grill and grill breadfruit and so. Wow.
I mean, like I would like to. Many people are motivated by some of the stuff that I do. I mean, I'm a kind of free spirited person in the sense where like if I get up today and think I want to do something, I would think it through and say you could do it. And that's basically how I live life. Just do what my mind tell me to do.
Amen, amen, and amen.
Just believe in your own self and just try to push. Because really and truly, every single thing that I've thought about and spoke about today, there was at least one or two persons to tell me that it don't make sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
So I mean,
usual.
hopefully they're listening and they could feel that type of way. But
your heart out.
Shade.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying that. I mean, I think we need to create a community where we support one another's initiatives and encourage people to do. I mean, some people might come to me and ask me, okay, I want to do this. What do you think? I would give them the pros and the cons, and I said I would leave it up to you to decide if you want to do it or not, right? Because I don't believe in fighting down, like trying to shoot down people's dreams. Because somebody might come with an idea today, and that might just be the idea, but you tell them no, and they don't do it. The next day you see somebody in Trinidad, somebody in the States, somebody somewhere around the world doing it, and they're getting applauded for it. I mean, we over here, we most times try to short change a lot of things that we can possibly do. We don't have the confidence in ourselves and the confidence in our peers, and that contributes to the society as well. So I think that would be my ending. So
okay, wonderful. Well, that brings us to the end of our show today. It's Friday. Friday. Wow, we don't have to see y'all again until Monday. It's bittersweet.
Yeah, I feel the same.
It's bittersweet.
I just miss y'all. Sometimes when I see y'all on Monday, I just regret it all over again.
How insulting, I'm proud.
Yes.
Well, it's the weekend, folks, as usual. Don't drink too much and drive. Indicating the roundabout, don't overtake in the roundabout. Look out for your fellow pedestrians and other drivers. Drive for yourself and drive for everybody else as well. And please leave the little children alone.
Oh,
please.
And if you know somebody that is troubling a little child, report it.
Report it. Speak about
Honestly, report it. Don't go whisper to nobody and
there
chat
are ways,
about it. Report it.
There are ways to report things anonymously in this country. There's Crime Stoppers. I can't remember the Crime Stoppers number, but you just Google it, and you can report these things. And parents, if you know that there are instances where relatives or loved ones, etc., are being inappropriate around your kids and it's uncomfortable for you, just find the strength. If you can't find the strength, pray about it. Talk to somebody you trust and can confide in, and get some guidance.
Yeah, we have a responsibility to protect those that are most vulnerable among us. All right.
To protect our kids. I mean, it's heartbreaking.
But it's still Friday.
It's still Friday. And we're going to leave now and look for some food.
Where we going? I'm hungry.
I don't know. Kevin, what are you eating?
Me no. Stressed.
It would have been nice to go by ASAP Grill this afternoon.
Yeah, but
the grill
they're busy practicing.
The grill now. Barry's open for lunch?
Not this afternoon, this evening.
No, we want food. No. We just have
Barry's wings, man?
We just have to skip breakfast to be here,
Yeah, but Barry's wings? No, you don't eat chicken.
No, but I know people who religiously have to go there for the wings, especially on Thursday.
What's the movement?
I'm a bakery. I'm a bakery, but only for the people, man. For the people. But I hear Godzilla coming up this episode, so we have to leave.
I can't.
Should you reach? 354 from by. Anyway.
Thank God. Okay.
We're leaving. Have a great weekend. Be safe and look over your neighbor. We're gone. And don't forget, Kevon.
You can't be everybody cup of tea because you're not a mug.
You is not a mug.
See you on Monday.